Null on the wedding day, when I was about to offer tea to my mother-in-law to change her words, he stopped me. You and I are not related by blood, so you don't have to call me mom. Okay, auntie. I have always been knowledgeable and tactful. I have my own mother, so there is no need to rush to call someone else mom. My husband Su Chenha pushed my arm. Mom, I was just being polite. Why did you take it seriously? It's okay, I'm being polite too. Besides, I'm not here to join this family. I'm here to break up this family. My mother-in-law has been a widow for many years. She brought up my husband Su Chenha and sister-in-law Su Wanlu alone. From the wedding day, I was sure that they didn't like me. As soon as she got up the day after the wedding, my mother-in-law tore off the big red wedding characters in the whole house. She said she felt dazzling. When the family was having breakfast, my mother-in-law said to me with a fake smile, Sure, there are a lot of people chasing my son, including the mayor's daughter and the president's daughter. You must cherish this blessing. Turns out that Chenha is so popular. Then why doesn't he marry the mayor's daughter? What about my son and the president's daughter? Is it because you don't want to marry into the family? I have never had the habit of being merciful with my words. How do you talk to mom when your sister-in-law is standing up for injustice? But I have always been outspoken. Aunt and sister, just get used to it. Don't mind it. When I said this, my husband Su Chenha had no war vigilance at all. He was lazily eating toast with condensed milk. I didn't know if this number could be used. I muttered to myself. I was holding a glass of milk and was about to drink it when my mother-in-law spoke again. Sure, ate bread. Just add some boiled water. The milk is not enough for Chenha, right? I glanced at my husband and deliberately took a sip of the milk in the cup first. The rim of the cup was stained red with lipstick. Then I put the cup to Su Chenha's lips. Su Chenha drank the milk I handed over, and his lips were naturally stained with my lipstick. I wiped it for him with a smile, and squinted at the faces of my mother-in-law and sister-in-law. They were blue and white. My mother-in-law usually looks at my husband like she is looking at me. Like beads, the sister-in-law always sticks to her brother. I know what women do. Su Chenha is the only male in the family. It is inevitable that the mother-in-law and the sister-in-law project too much opposite-sex feelings on him. In front of the 30-year-old eldest son, the mother-in-law does not close the door when taking a bath or going to the toilet. What is there to be afraid of for a child raised by herself? It is so troublesome to close the door. Hearing the mother-in-law say this, my three views were shocked again and again. The sister-in-law came and went at will. On our wedding night, she knocked on the door at 2 a.m. and said she couldn't sleep and needed my brother to coax her. It's not an exaggeration to say that this mother and daughter are outrageous. On the first day I entered the house, I thought I was finished. My arrival was like an uncontrolled gyroscope, spinning between the three fixed bowling pins, inevitably pushing this one and knocking over that one. But Su Chenha was not the one who could reconcile. Seeing me feeding my husband milk like this, the mother-in-law naturally felt uncomfortable. With a look from her, the sister-in-law got up and went to the kitchen to get another bottle of milk come out. Sister Sure, if you want to drink milk, drink this. Don't compete with my brother, as if my family can't afford milk. Hey, you little girl. When did you learn to speak so cunningly? You don't even call me sister-in-law. Su Chenha dotes on her sister. How dare I? Su Wanlu teased, bent a little nail with his finger, and blew the condensed milk into his brother's nose. The brother and sister were laughing and playing together, and the mother-in-law was watching from the side and smiling brightly. I watched coldly. From falling in love to getting married, I have never seen my mother-in-law smile so kindly. But I shouldn't have been soft-hearted and agreed to live with them after marriage. I am an independent woman who had a house before marriage. I couldn't help rolling my eyes at their family of three. I gulped down the milk my sister-in-law gave me. After half a bottle, I exclaimed, "Oh my God! This milk is overdue for half a year. This milk is overdue for half a year. Why are you giving it to your sister-in-law?" Su Chenha. She was anxious and muttered to Wanlu. She was already a 25-year-old girl, but she was so scared by her brother's words that she started to cry and hid in her mother's arms and sobbed. The mother-in-law hurriedly comforted her sister-in-law and said to me, "Oh, it's just a bottle of milk. You won't die." There was a surge of evil fire in my stomach, and a strange smell in my mouth. I felt something was wrong, so I immediately ran to the toilet and vomited. Su Chenha ran over to look at me and kept rubbing my back. The mother and daughter couldn't stand it anymore. The mother-in-law said, Sure, why are you so squeamish? It's just a bottle of milk, and you vomited on me." After vomiting, she shook off Su Chenha's hand, walked straight to the dining table, and while they were not prepared, she picked up the milk and poured it on Su Wanlu with lightning speed. Half a bottle of milk just fell on his head, and then dripped down his hair. The mother-in-law was frightened and was standing there. Su Wanlu had already chulai denaijer, English. She burst into tears. Su Qianhe didn't expect that I would act so swiftly and mercilessly. In front of his mother and sister, her face turned pale and her tone was cold. She scolded me and said, Li Shishir, what did you do? My sister didn't mean it. Why did you throw it on her? You didn't mean to throw the milk. Su Qianhe, whose milk has been expired for half a year and is still left at home. Could it be that it is kept specifically to poison me? I won't indulge them. When my mother-in-law heard what I said, she was originally stunned, but now her mood changed. She lay on the ground and cried, Oh, why is my life so hard? I can't bear to throw away the milk, but I have to be weirded by my daughter-in-law. His father left early, and I raised them alone. I have to live frugally, right? This trick really worked. Su Qianhe's face flashed with obvious heartache and guilt. He quickly helped his mother up and went to comfort his sister. I was busy watching from the side, thinking to myself, I've got such a bad reputation. Mother-in-law and sister-in-law, my life is not much better either. Su Qianhe took a towel and wiped his sister's hair, one strand at a time. The careful Shishir hurriedly apologized to her mother and sister. She sounded like she was giving an order, but I am a person who only responds to soft words and not hard ones. Let your sister compensate me for the loss of expired milk first. Oh, look at her. What sin did my Su family commit to marry a daughter-in-law like you? The mother-in-law started to act again. Since you married into our Su family, you should be filial to my mother and love my sister. Why are you finding faults and quarreling just after the wedding? Look, there is still a husband who is confused. Hey, can you get it clear? I married you, not your whole family. Besides, my family didn't ask for a penny for the 3 golds and 1 diamond as betrothal gifts. I didn't sell myself to you. The mother and daughter probably didn't expect that I would be so righteous. 3 pairs of eyes stared at me. I don't know how this farce will end. I'll teach you a lesson. Su Wanlu threw away the towel in his brother's hand and rushed towards me in one step, cursing non-stop. How dare you talk back to my mother and throw milk on me? I don't want a sister-in-law like you. He got ruthless and wrestled with me like a mad bull that had lost its mind. I said I would not forgive him, but I had no strength to really start fighting. I was pushed to the ground without paying attention. He sat on me and started slapping me in the face. You are an uneducated, stinky woman. Su Qianhe was unable to stop him. When he came over to stop me, I had already been slapped several times. He finally pulled up his crazy sister and helped me up, but my mother-in-law was watching the fun with her arms folded. I didn't care about the burning pain on my face. I just felt a chill all over my body and a warm current under my body. I shouted to Su Qianhe in panic. Send me to the hospital quickly. The child is really gone. Yes, I was 2 months pregnant. As we had just got married, it was not easy to make it public. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law, little did I know that when I woke up from the hospital bed, before I could see each of their faces clearly, the hatred in my heart had already taken root. The first thing Su Qianhe said to me was, Don't hate mom and sister. We are still a family in the future. Who the hell is disgusting with you? We are a family. I have been working hard in the city alone, earning money to buy a house, and never letting my parents worry. Su Qianhe and I are college classmates. He is a local. I didn't like him at first and thought he was timid and unmanly. Later, as we got along day and night, I gradually felt that such a man had a soft temper, was not domineering, gentle and obedient, and might be a good candidate for a partner. When I fell in love with and married Su Qianhe, I thought I would have my own home in this city, but I never expected that my in-laws' home would not be my home at all. 2 months ago, when I knew there was a little life hidden in my body, the joy I felt was incomparable to others. I realized that 2 months later, the dream turned into nothing, and the little life was strangled by his own aunt and grandmother. As long as I was awake, tears would not stop flowing. I cried for my child who would never have the chance to see the world, and for my husband who said at the wedding that he would protect me all my life, but caused me to have a miscarriage the next day. My mother-in-law brought my sister-in-law to see me for a long time. She didn't say a word of comfort or apology, but was only worried about the incense of his Su family. She kept asking the doctor when she caught him whether Li Shishir's miscarriage would affect future pregnancy. Generally, it would not. The baby is still young and the harm to the mother is not great. However, we must be vigilant against habitual miscarriage and affect fertility. After hearing what the doctor said, my mother-in-law immediately clasped her hands together and chanted Amitba, saying that she just wanted to give me a grandson. She turned around and pulled Su Qianhe to the door and whispered to her son, You must find out clearly with the doctor. If she can't give birth, we will have to divorce and find a new one. Weren't you and Lin Cece doing well before? Well, I know she is not married yet. Su Qianhe was trying to persuade her mother not to say such things at first, but she kept pestering her to agree, so she finally said, okay, if she can't have the baby, I'll just change another one, okay? The voice was not loud, but I could hear it clearly. If it was before, I would have retorted long ago, but the loss of the child made me quickly see this family clearly. It is said that a blessed woman will not enter a house without blessings. I want revenge, I only want revenge. Su Qianhe returned to the ward. Tears welled up in my eyes, as if I had suffered great injustice. I hugged his arm and sobbed, saying, "Husband, it hurts so much. I don't want to have children anymore. Don't think so much about it. Have a good rest. We will definitely have children again." No, I will definitely not have children. If you want to have a baby, go and have it with someone else. I won't stop you. I deliberately raised the tone of my voice and said this to my mother-in-law and sister-in-law. Su Qianhe could not stand my pitiful pleading and could only soften. What nonsense are you talking about? How could I have a baby with someone else? You should take good care of yourself and don't think too much. He finally coaxed me to lie down and rest. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law sighed and left the hospital. I watched them walk away and sent 3 words to the phone. Let's take action. After being discharged from the hospital, I asked for sick leave from my unit to recuperate at home. Su Qianhe wanted to find a confinement nanny to take care of me, but my mother-in-law stopped him. It's not a real confinement period. Why does he have to find money? I will take care of Shirshir. Qianhe really doesn't need to waste money. Just let my aunt and sister come. I started to persuade him sensibly. My husband never expected me to be so docile this time. But since I agreed, he was relieved and went to work with his briefcase. When he left the door, I pulled my mother-in-law and sister-in-law and cried, "Lulu, it's all my fault. I poured milk on you in a moment of impulse. Please don't hate me." Pear blossoms were wet with rain and tears were streaming. Tears are the best disguise and can only deceive people's hearts. Things, sister-in-law, what are you talking about? It was me who was ignorant. I gave you expired milk as a prank. Su Wanlu was also in a hurry to apologize. My false gesture of goodwill was met with a sister-in-law. On the wedding day, he chased me and called me Sister Shirshir, saying that he was used to it and couldn't change it, but in fact he didn't want to admit it from the bottom of his heart. My mother-in-law also started to interrupt. "Shirshir, I hope you don't hate us in your heart. Look at your child, you didn't tell us that you were pregnant. If you had told me, I would definitely tie up Lulu and not fight with you." I continued to tear up. "Auntie, I was ignorant. I was thinking of giving you a surprise after 3 months." Who knew that she started crying again after she finished speaking? Okay. Things have happened. It can't be changed. You take good care of yourself. You will be able to get pregnant again soon. The mother-in-law's voice was firm. No, I growled like a stimulated little animal. My voice trembled, and it seemed like I was begging no. "Auntie, don't if you want me to have another baby. I'm afraid. Please don't let me have another baby. As long as I don't have a baby, I'm willing to work like a cow or a horse in the Su family." The mother-in-law and the sister-in-law looked at each other. She looked at the sister-in-law, curled her lips, and muttered to her mother. The mother-in-law sighed and said, "Okay, let's not talk about having a baby first." He even pretended to tuck in the quilt for me, and then he and the sister-in-law left the room. Su Qianhe said for several nights in a row that he was working overtime and couldn't come back. In the past, his mother would definitely call him distressed and urge him repeatedly, and would make chicken soup and take Chinese medicine, for fear that working overtime would hurt her son's body. But he was surprisingly calm these nights. When he received a call from his son about working overtime, there was a little bit of joy in his tone, and he wished he could work all night. Of course, I know what they are thinking. Those nights when my husband Su Qianhe lied about working overtime, he was actually with a woman named Lin Cece, with big wavy hair and flaming red lips. A passionate girl would drag him to a Japanese restaurant to eat tuna, to the aquarium to feed dolphins, to the electronic music festival to shake the railings. This is a date like me to see an art exhibition, to visit the park, cannot give her a sense of freshness. Even if he still has a trace of responsibility and guilt for me in his heart, it will soon disappear. What's more, this is an affair facilitated by his mother. As a man, he is more justified in doing this. I don't know if he can enjoy those sweet smiles and flirting, those eye contact. I sent a message to the person over there on my mobile phone. "Please move faster and don't lose yourself." He laughed and said, "Don't worry, I know my mission. It's not bad to play with this kind of stuff occasionally. I will stop when I see the good. Whether this war is won or lost depends on you. Miss, when have I ever disappointed you in doing things?" I smiled knowingly at my opponent. Sure enough, it has to be him. My mother-in-law brought me pork trotters with ginger. The sweet smell has made me want to do it. "Ah, Auntie, I don't want to eat this. Can you and Lulu go and eat it? Be good." "Sure. Women here eat pig's trotters and ginger to nourish the uterus. whether it's giving birth or miscarriage. If you eat this bowl, you will definitely get pregnant again. Look, this is a double insurance. My family is coaxing me to take care of my body while getting pregnant, and outside they have already found a backup for my son. I don't know if his family has a throne to inherit or excellent genes to pass on, and they are so anxious to have a grandson. I pushed away the bowl and chopsticks he handed over. Auntie, I really don't want to have children. If you force me to have one, I will jump off the building. It's up to you whether to have one or not. The mother-in-law held the bowl of pig's trotters and ginger helplessly, with an ugly look on her face. Speaking of jumping off the building, do you still remember the son of Aunt Wong in the next building in our community? I asked my mother-in-law as if I suddenly remembered something. I know, that's Lulu's elementary school classmate. What happened? He jumped off the building and died. You don't know. The mother-in-law was surprised. Her hands were unsteady. A bowl full of pork trotters and ginger fell heavily to the ground. The sound of broken ceramics attracted my sister-in-law. Lulu, Wang Chao is your elementary school classmate. When I saw Su Wanlu come in, I began to ask him gossipingly, what happened? My sister-in-law's voice was choked with sobs, and it was obvious that she had not forgotten the past feelings. I quickly tapped the keyboard of my mobile phone and showed him the news that a couple committed suicide by jumping off a building. Then, my mother-in-law quickly snatched my phone from me. It was so unlucky to read such news in the middle of the night. Su Wanlu yelled at me and snatched it from my mother-in-law again. He opened his eyes wide and read every word, for fear of missing any punctuation mark. He finished reading with trembling hands, and threw the phone back to me, who was half lying on the bed, and then began to scratch his chest constantly. No, Wang Chao is not dead. No, looking at Su Wanlu so frightened, the mother-in-law could only say comfortingly, the news must have been wrong. It's not her. Such a sunny and cheerful child would not jump off the building. I looked at the mother and daughter, laughed in my heart, and pretended to be ignorant on the surface and said, Lulu, don't be so excited. It's true. It has happened. I heard that her mother, Aunt Wong, couldn't stand the stimulation. She had a high blood pressure attack in a hurry and has been hospitalized. Don't say any more. The mother-in-law yelled at me. Although this person is Lulu's elementary school classmate, it's someone else's business. Why are you so excited? Su Wanlu was so sad that tears silently dripped down. In an instant, she pushed away her mother-in-law who was supporting her. The voice was not loud, but extremely scary. Mom, why can't I pass the exam? Why can't I pass the exam? If I can study abroad with him, if you stay with him, his mother won't force him to get engaged to other girls. We can be together, he won't jump off the building, he will live well, and if you fail the exam, you won't be admitted to any school. I pretended to be ignorant and asked, Don't ask. Let Lulu go back to her room and have a good rest. My mother-in-law interrupted me rudely, but Su Wanlu seemed to have fallen into a whirlpool of pain, and her mother couldn't stop her. She still said, Oxford University, we agreed to study abroad in Oxford together. But she was admitted, and I didn't have her mother. I didn't think I was worthy of her son, so I broke us up. He continued, he had mild depression, and he must have been very painful these years abroad. The huge sadness made Su Wanlu change her arrogant look in the past. At this moment, she was just a little girl who had suffered from emotional trauma. But I will not be soft-hearted anymore and cherish her love that was broken and died. Oxford University, you were admitted. I said the sentence unexpectedly. Shut up. Mother-in-law rushed up and slapped me. I covered my face, looked at this old hen protecting her calf in astonishment. Auntie, why did you hit me? I said the truth. Chinha showed me Lulu's admission letter from Oxford University. He also said that he was reluctant to let his sister go abroad to study. So what? Su Wanlu came up and grabbed me tightly with both hands. You tell me quickly. Tell me. Quickly, I let go of Su Wanlu's arm, and then I said carefully, weren't you too nervous to check at that time, so you asked your brother to check for you? Your brother said that he was reluctant to let you go to study abroad in such a far place, and seeing that you didn't particularly want to go, he took a screenshot of the admission page on the computer and changed it to No, sent it to you, and later the notice was also hidden. Su Wanlu couldn't believe it. His eyes were full of red bloodshot from crying, but the corners of his mouth began to crack into a smile, and that look was really scary. Auntie, did you know about this? I turned the subject to my mother-in-law again. Su Wanlu was suddenly startled and turned to my mother-in-law and asked, You know, right? You know. My mother-in-law didn't care to be angry with me, and just kept shaking her head. No, don't listen to his bloody words. You know your brother, he won't lie to you. You just didn't pass the exam. Ha 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 ha. Su Wanlu laughed wildly, and I got goosebumps. You have been partial to your brother since you were a child, and you had to give your brother all the good things first. I knew I would pass the exam. You didn't allow me to go to Oxford. Wasn't it to save the money that Dad left for me, to buy a house and a car for my brother, so that he could live a glorious life? It was quiet in the middle of the night, but Li Wen asked directly, and my mother-in-law was moved by this. The voice of reproach forced her to lose the dignity of an elder. She kept comforting her daughter. It's all my fault. If you want to blame someone, blame me, don't blame your brother. Su Wanlu cried for a long time before she woke up. Where's my brother? Where's my brother? I want to confront him face to face. He broke free from her mother-in-law and rushed out the door holding his hands. Seeing this, her mother-in-law chased him and shouted, Don't go find your brother. I quickly got up and went to help. Look at the quarrel between the mother and daughter. The show changed. I staggered into my coat and followed my mother-in-law. Su Wanlu knew that his brother was at the company tonight, so he took a taxi and went straight over. We went downstairs to the gate of the community and saw him get in the car. My mother-in-law hurriedly stopped a taxi, and the two of us also took a car to chase after him. The 10-kilometer journey usually doesn't seem far away, but at this moment it seemed like a heavenly road in my mother-in-law's heart. She actually didn't want me to follow her, but she couldn't care less at this moment. I glanced at my phone. We arrived at the company building at 0:30 in the morning, which should be less than 1 o'clock. I happened to be hiding from my mother-in-law and sent a quick text message. The plan went smoothly and was executed normally. We rushed all the way. We followed Su Wanlu and came to Su Qianhe's company building. In this 40-story office building, his independent office is on the 37th floor. The elevator numbers jumped one by one. My mother-in-law wished she could fly. When we chased to the door, Su Wanlu's screams had already been heard from inside. Brother? What are you doing? Lin Cixi, why are you here? Su Qianhe thought he had a beautiful woman in his arms tonight and was very happy. But he never thought that the most dissolute scene appeared in front of his mother, his sister, and his wife. He stumbled and quickly jumped up from the sofa, grabbed a shirt and put it on. Lin Cixi was pale and wanted to flee in panic. When she was about to run away from me, I grabbed his arm tightly with my left hand. We are both women. I won't make things difficult for you. Thank you for taking care of me. Take care of my husband. I emphasized the word take care of on purpose and said it to Su Qianhe. Lin Cixi shook off my hand. I don't know what you were talking about, and then rushed out of the door. I did not stop her. The mother-in-law might not have expected the embarrassment of this scene. Her children all collapsed. Just tonight, after all. She is an old man. She was the first to calm down. Qianhe, it's so late. Why did you make an appointment with a female colleague to work here? Auntie, don't cover up for her. What kind of job requires taking off clothes? Do you have anything to tell? Me, I was like a queen who caught someone cheating in bed. But Su Wanlu pushed me away at this time and walked straight towards him. Brother, you guys talk about your own things when you get home. Su Qianhe, let me ask you, was it you who caused me to not be able to go to Oxford back then? You are really born of the same mother. My sister-in-law is catching someone cheating, but he only remembers his own things, but it doesn't matter. I asked him to promote the affair. Su Qianhe was still thinking about how to deal with me with an embarrassed face. Unexpectedly, my younger sister rushed up first and asked a lot of questions without any context. No, you just didn't pass the exam. Didn't I take a screenshot of the score page to show you? You lied to me and photoshopped the screenshot. You hid the notice, right? Su Wanlu was still going crazy. My mother-in-law hurried forward to stop her daughter. Your brother didn't lie to you. You and Wang Chao are just not destined to be together. Go home with Mom and we will talk it out. Su Wanlu pushed him away. Mom, you two teamed up to harm me. I trusted you the most since I was a child. You are my biological mother and brother. Seeing her daughter collapse like this, my mother-in-law turned her eyes and pointed her index finger at me viciously. Lulu, listen to me. We didn't harm you. It was this woman. It was a woman who was instigating the three of us. Feelings, there was a wolf in his eyes that wanted to eat me. Li Shishir, you have ulterior motives. Why do you want to alienate us like this? My heart was churning. You are really an old fox. Your logic is quite smooth. You are too busy comforting your children, and you still want to get this level of me. I never showed any expression. I just slowly opened my mouth to defend myself. How did I alienate the relationship between you two mothers and children? The tendons blocking the road are something I can stir up. Can I design it? Facing the mother-in-law, I continued. Things like Auntie's college admission, it's true or not. It can't be made up. It's not like your second spring with Uncle Chi. It can be ruined casually. What did you say? The mother-in-law is even more anxious at this moment. Su Qianhe felt like there were 3 big ants clawing at him at the moment. One for his sister's biological mother and the other for his wife. He rushed to my side and said, Shishir, I'm sorry for what happened tonight. Let's go back and settle other things. Don't talk nonsense. I sneered. I was afraid that I would talk nonsense, so don't do it. I turned around in front of the mother and her 2 children and said, Aunt Jungsun, you and Uncle Chi from the next community fell in love 10 years ago. The 2 of you were in love and were about to get married for the 2nd time. But do you know why Uncle Chi left without saying goodbye and ran away without you? Su Qianhe didn't expect me to mention this old story. He told me it as a family secret when we were in love. Past privacy becomes a sharp sword that can sting the most. Su Wanlu had a headache because of this mess. When he heard the 3 words Uncle Chi, he immediately sounded the radar and entered a state of preparation. The brother and sister yelled at me together. "Shut up! You can't shut up!" I continued. "Auntie, you can't imagine it. They are your 2 good children," and ran to contact Uncle Chi's ex-wife and daughter. "Li Shishir, what do you want?" Su Qianhe couldn't accept it anymore. I continued, "I don't want to do anything. The truth should be known to everyone. I will try my best to control my face that is about to collapse." I gritted my teeth and said to me, "Li Shishir, what do you know? You said I can bear it." "Auntie, Uncle Chi's family has 3 buildings for rent, and the rent alone can be 100,000 every month. Didn't you fall in love with Uncle Chi because of his money?" I continued to say word by word. "Speaking of which, we young people still have a lot to learn from you. You are already old, but you still care about your uncle every day, and go to his house to wash his clothes and cook for him. This is what makes people look at you favorably." The past memories came to their minds. The mother and her 2 children looked at each other and glanced at Su Qianhe and Su Wanlu. I went on to say that you have made a good plan. If you marry Uncle Chi, Su Wanlu won't have to worry about the cost of studying abroad. Su Qianhe will buy a house, a car, and marry a wife, and there will be a sucker to pay for it, right? The truth is about to be exposed. The mother-in-law is extremely sad and blames her partner, his children. "I found an old man for you too. Chi, you didn't want me to get married, so you went to find his ex-wife and daughter and seduce him back, right auntie? You finally guessed it." Su Qianhe and Su Wanlu told Uncle Chi's ex-wife and daughter the news of your marriage. The mother and daughter thought about the financial benefits. Of course they had to start to save the family. Uncle Chi missed his daughter, naturally chose that side. The mother-in-law suddenly started to sneer. "I have been a widow since the age of 35, and have always valued my reputation, but at that time, because of Lao Chi, I was pointed at by the neighbors and my spine was about to be stabbed." He looked at his children. "How could I like Lao Chi, a rough man? I did it for you so that you can live a richer and more affluent life. But it's you, how did you treat me?" Su Qianhe lowered his head guiltily. "Mom, we were ignorant back then. We just felt that it was shameful for our mother to be at home. We never thought about your feelings." Su Wanlu was silent for most of the day and suddenly started talking again. "We stopped Mom from remarrying, and you stopped me from going to Oxford. What a good show, ha 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 ha." His laughter made this enclosed space even more creepy. His eyes began to switch between his mother and brother. "Look at what kind of family we are, what kind of family we are." And when he saw me, he went on to say, "So brother, your wife had a miscarriage less than a month ago. Are you in a hurry to find someone else to have a child?" I was stunned when I heard this, but soon I thought it through. Su Wanlu was not speaking for me, but for the mother and her 2 children. The resentment was burning more vigorously. It was true that people of the same family were alike. Su Qianhe had the opportunity to leave his mother and sister aside and take care of me. He came over and clenched my wrists with both hands, but I shook them off. "Shishir, listen to me. You still talk about catching a thief, catching stolen goods, and catching an adulterer. You took off your clothes in bed. Don't say you were discussing work. I will be merciless." Su Qianhe certainly knew that this poor excuse was unconvincing, but her selfish nature could not be concealed at all. No, I was blinded by greed for a while. It was Mom. It was Mom who always instigated me to be with Lin Cece, saying that you would not have children and let me have them with Lin Cece. I never liked her. When I heard her, after she said that, the mother-in-law started to get anxious again. "I did this all for the Su family. Li Shishir doesn't want to have children. Are you going to let my Su family die out? That's enough. Stop biting each other, the 3 of you, mother and son. I don't care about the harsh words. You are all selfish to the extreme. You only think about yourself. I don't want a family like yours anymore. Let's get a divorce." I used a lot of effort to say the last 3 words. That was my expectation for these days. Does the ending really have to come to this? Su Qianhe asked, "What do you say? What did I tell you before we got married? You forgot that we still have a marital fidelity agreement, right?" When it comes to the fidelity agreement, the eyes of the 3 mothers and sons suddenly flashed with surprise. Su Qianhe and I went from campus to wedding dresses all the way 7 years, finally came to fruition. When I proposed to sign a marital fidelity agreement, that guy swore solemnly that he would never let me down, so it was clearly written on it that if there was any infidelity, he would voluntarily hand over all the houses and cars under his name to me and leave the house empty-handed. You signed a marital fidelity agreement. The mother-in-law didn't care about being angry with her son. At this moment, she just wanted to keep her own property. For many years, she had been renting a house with her son and daughter. Later, in order to get her son married, she used her savings for many years to buy us a small 3-bedroom apartment as a wedding house. The name of the house was Su Qianhe alone. "Yes, auntie, you don't know, your son's guarantee is legally effective." Su Qianhe's eyes, I was dazed and fell down on the sofa. Sure. Can't you really give me another chance?" "Don't ask, just say no," I said firmly. "Su Qianhe, you were so mediocre in school. You have been hesitant and submissive for so many years. I thought you were soft-tempered and easy to talk to, but I didn't expect you to be so unprincipled. You turned around and hooked up with another woman just because your mother made a fuss. Our marriage is over. I adjusted my mood and didn't let the tears of despair fall at the last moment. I will go to the Civil Affairs Bureau to handle the procedures tomorrow and transfer the house and car. After I finished speaking, I wanted to turn around and leave, but no, my mother-in-law and sister-in-law rushed up together and stopped me. Look, the house and car are transferred to they will have to be kicked out immediately. It involves their own interests. They are a loving family. Sure, don't be impulsive. I am wrong in this matter. I admit my mistake. Don't divorce Chenha. It's rare for my mother-in-law to be so humble to me. Su Wanlu also started to speak for me. You and my brother have been together for so many years. He has always loved you. Give him another chance. I avoided them. Su Chenha should take responsibility for what he did. Don't let mom and sister help you. There are also grievances in your family. Sort them out first. I mentioned their hidden pain again, and they let go and admitted their mistakes. See you at the Civil Affairs Bureau at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I took a taxi and left without looking back. The divorce was finalized. Everything went smoothly. The house and the car were both in my name. When we said goodbye, Su Chenha held my hand and said, Sure. Have we really come to this point? It's too late to reverse what has been done. Face the facts. There was no emotion in my tone. That night, when Lin Cece and I were celebrating at home, he couldn't help but raise his glass to toast me. When it comes to decisiveness, I'm really not as good as you. All of a sudden, I got the house and the car, and I succeeded in making the three of them strangers. Otherwise, how can I avenge my unborn child? When I mention the child, I still feel uncomfortable. It's better that the child doesn't come. It's so unlucky to have such a father and grandmother. I know Lin Cece is comforting me. She was Su Chenha's childhood friend. When she was young and ignorant, I also liked him for a while, but he didn't appreciate it. Later, we met while traveling, and we hit it off at first sight. When we became good friends, I found out that there was Su Chenha in between. But how could girls appreciate each other and give in because of a man? Lin Cece loves and hates freely, and lives a free and easy life. She is not a jealous little woman. In the final analysis, I have to thank you for sacrificing your looks to help me. This time I responded to Lin Cece, please don't say that. I didn't let him succeed, but if this hadn't gone according to your plan, in another 2 or 3 weeks, I really couldn't stand it. I laughed. Didn't you like him back then? Hey, aren't we the same? Who hasn't been blind? After a burst of laughter, Lin Cece started asking me again whether Su Wanlu was admitted to Oxford that year, and whether he was admitted at his own expense or not at the government expense. I said, but my ex-sister-in-law has always been ambitious and self-righteous. After I made such a fuss, she definitely thought that she was admitted and that it was his brother and mother who ruined him. The hatred of this family can never be resolved, right? After moving out of this house, the three of them rented houses separately and did not live together or interact with each other. Lin Cece took over and I laughed. What about the 2 children? They ruined their mother's second relationship and made her a widow for life. What about the brother? He ruined his sister's study abroad and indirectly caused her first love to jump off the building. What about the mother? She ruined her son's marriage, arranged a backup for his son, instigated someone to have an affair. It would be strange if this family could still live together. But the affair was indeed a bit unfair. I spoke in a tough tone. What was unfair about it? My wife was pregnant, and she had a miscarriage caused by her own mother and sister. He didn't take good care of her. But because I pretended that I didn't want to have children, he had evil thoughts. It's a good thing that his mother pushed you to be a backup. If it was another woman, cheating would be a fact. I just went with the flow and kept this matter under my control. Lin Cece thought carefully. You are right. Dogmen are really not worthy of sympathy. You have won this battle thoroughly. Let's clink glasses. Then sisters, how about accompanying me on a divorce journey? Let's go. The whole article is over.